teachers create opportunities for children to see themselves as successful readers and writers, they foster literacy motivation and engagement within and across lessons.
On Friday, we talked about doing our informative essay. What I want you to do now is I want you to turn and talk to a partner, and I just want you to explain what your understanding is of what is included in an informative essay. Okay, bring it back. What are some of the things? Somebody raise your hand and tell me one of the things specifically that stuck out the most to you. Jackson.
That we haven't done this.
We haven't done an informative essay. That is correct. The last one we did was what kind? Argumentative. Nate. Text evidence. Is text evidence important? It is.
We need to stay on topic.
Stay on topic.
Don't put your opinion.
Why? What is an informational essay mostly about?
Facts.
Facts. We're looking at big facts, okay? Let's go over here to our prompt. What stands out to you as one important characteristic to have as a problem solver or an investigator? Okay, that's our main focus. Are there a variety of different traits? Absolutely. They listed a few for us on our handout that had text evidence, right? And it was grouped by particular traits. Now, are there different traits that you could choose? Do you have to stick to those? Nope. Because if there is something that sticks out to you as most important, that's what you should focus on. Let's go and look at our success criteria. What are the main factors that we talked about here? Clear main idea. I have to be able to right off the bat know this is what we're going to be talking about. Okay? Then it has to be what? Well organized. What's first?
Introduction.
The introduction. Then comes what? How many body paragraphs? 3. What comes at the end? Conclusion. Then we have to look at, we've already talked about it, providing that text evidence. Right here, factual information. You said no opinions. Then we're going to look at grammar, punctuation, capitalization, all the mechanic things that we do. Then, what's the biggie?
Transition words.
Transition words. Why? Somebody raise your hand and tell me, why is it important for you to have transition words? Somebody besides Jackson. Aaron, why is it important?
Because it's better for like the development.
The development. Is that important? Uh-huh. But what's the other thing, Jace?
It's telling you like where those paragraphs.
Okay. And it kind of helps at what, Drake?
Flows further.
Exactly. Look, we have all of these transition words. We even have at what point to use them. Is it important to make things flow? Do you want to read something that's like, this happened, but wait. First this happened, then this happened, and it's all jumbled up and out of order? Is that easy to follow or comprehend? No, absolutely not. So remember at the beginning, what was our big question at the beginning? Would you volunteer? I want you to talk in your group for about a minute. Is your answer still the same? Would you volunteer to go to a place you knew had yellow fever for research in hopes of finding a cure? I want you to look at and incorporate these character traits of these doctors. Then we had no clue, did we? We had no clue a whole lot about yellow fever, and we certainly didn't know these doctors. So I want you to talk in your group for a moment. What did you choose? Go around, each individual person, take just a few seconds and say, this is what I chose, and this is why. And tell me if you've changed your mind. Them in your group, okay? Go. Okay, guys, start winding it down. If you haven't shared, you need to share now. All right, bring it back. Here's my question. Out of the group, how many of you chose no, you would not go to begin with, but then you changed your mind to yes, you would? Raise your hand high. You chose no at the beginning. You chose no at the beginning, but now you've chosen yes, you would go. Put your hands down. How many of you chose yes at the beginning and still a yes? Very good. How many of you chose no and you're still a no? You're just not happening. Okay. Now, are my no people going to fall into my category of being brave and bold?
No,
Remember, I chose the character trait of being brave and bold. Are my no people going to be brave and bold?
no.
Probably not.
I know in that one.
What?
The carefully and logically.
Why is he carefully and logically explain? Is he correct? He could fall into that category. Okay. What about my yes people and still yes? Are they brave and bold?
Yes.
What about my they were no's, but now they're yeses? Are they being brave and bold? Uh-huh, for sure. What did we talk about in so far as brave and bold? If I'm writing my informational essay, all right, and I'm doing brave and bold, and I have to pick 3 characters, because it said you have to pick 3, right? So I have to pick 3 instances or 3 characters of someone exhibiting that trait. What would be the first one out of all the texts that we read? What would be my very first one that would stick out so far as text evidence goes? Liam. Dr. Walter Reed. Now, how did what evidence from the text said that he was brave and bold?
He studied the yellow fever a bunch, and he found the mosquito bite after even though doctor was there.
Okay, and he continued. Okay, so he continued. That's one example of him being brave and bold. What's another?
He left his family and all his friends to go to research.
He did. He left them. What else, Jace?
He said that he wanted to evaluate human suffering.
Not evaluate. What's that word? Alleviate. Guys, that's huge for me. Right here. That tells me how bold he was. Was that not brave? And that goes all the way back to the beginning. So can you use from the beginning of all the texts that we have read? Can you go all the way back that far to get your text evidence? Absolutely. Is it just this piece of paper? Nope. Because what did I tell you wasn't on this piece of paper? Somebody that I thought was brave and bold. Kissinger. Why was Kissinger brave and bold? What did he literally do? He stuck out his arm, knowing that that mosquito was infected with yellow fever, and he let it bite. Is that not brave and bold? So I want you to get out now your outline. I want you to get out your outline. And I know I told you that I wanted you to choose on Friday what topic that you were going to choose. Which character trait were you going to write about? Okay? I want you to look within your group. I want you to look within your group, and I want you to see who matches, like who chose the same. See if anybody within your group chose the same. I'm going to give you about a minute or two. What did you choose? I agree with you too. That is a very important trait to possess. Did you choose something different after that? Bold and brave? Okay, guys, so tell me what you chose. Methodically, that's a good one. Bold and brave. Carefully and logically, good. What did the majority of you guys choose? Brave and bold. Yep, I agree with that. All right, give me a timeout. Okay, so the majority of what I'm hearing is brave and bold. I am hearing methodically. I am hearing collaboratively. Those are important too, right? So look here. These are the ones that are on your paper. All right. Go to your topic and title. And I want you to make sure that you write a statement. It says, what is the subject or theme of your writing? How should we start that sentence? What have I told you time and time again? Say it again.
Restate the question.
Restate the question into your answer. So how am I going to start that sentence? Jonathan?
I think one of the character traits that is important.
Did he restate part of this? Is he on topic? Yep. Anybody else want to give me an example? Riley?
One important characteristic an investigator should have is being able to act boldly and bravely.
Is that a good one? Yep. So we're all starting with that sentence. We have to know. I have to know as the reader, this is what I'm fixing to be reading about. This is the message that the reader is trying to convey, or that the writer is trying to convey to me. Okay. What about a hook? What about a hook? Why is a hook important? It's just like you're going fishing, right? Can you catch any fish without a hook?
No.
Nope. So what I want you to do is I want you to look at your hook. How many of you have not written your hook yet? You've not written it yet? Go ahead and do that now. Those of you that have written your hook, I want you to look at it and I want you to think about it after all the things we've talked about. Is it a good hook? Is it going to grab your reader's attention? Nate had a good one. Give me a timeout. Nate, share with the class what you just said.
Would you be going to possibly die to help others figure out what caused the disease?
Huh. Is that very thought-provoking? Is it going to make your reader stop and think?
Also really specific.
It is very specific. It is. Also, if I didn't want to talk about the death part, what other really truthfully about all the experiments that they did, were they not gross? Yeah. So could I bring in, imagine participating in experiments that, one, let mosquitoes bite me, because remember, I'm doing brave and bold, right? Would I be willing to put on that clothing and sleep in that bed for 21 days? Oh, think about that. Could I incorporate that into a hook? Is that going to get your attention if you're starting to read this? What kind of sentences should you use if you're going to, for your hook? Like, what should you use? Should you do telling sentences or should you do showing sentences? Showing. What do showing sentences include? Vivid details. What do vivid details do?
It gives an image.
Say it again, Isabel. I can't, if it's a telling sentence, you're just spitting information at me, right? But if it's a showing sentence, I'm reading that sentence and I'm being able to do what? Picture it in my mind. Is that important? That is important. So now what I want you to do on your Amplify on tab 2, it says, think back on all the investigators, scientists, and other people you've read about in this unit. We have already discussed what stands out to you as the most important characteristic to have as a problem solver investigator, and it has for you to click. Go ahead and click on which one that you're choosing and click next. When you're done, click on tab 3. If you're at home and you're working and you're not certain, or you need to go back to remind yourself about what the essay prompt is, that's where that you will find it, is on tab 3. There's your essay prompt. Now, I don't want you to have to do double the work. So now our focus is going to be on this outline. Remember, I told you our thesis statement. Our thesis statement is us just saying what? What is our thesis statement? It's the main idea. Our thesis statement is saying, this is what I think and this is why I think this. Okay? And then I'm going to prove it, right? A thesis statement is kind of like a claim, right? It is. So I said, acting bravely and boldly is an essential trait for a problem solver or an investigator because they must take risks, confront challenges, and be persistent even in times of struggles. Were there times they struggled?
Yes.
And I said, Dr. Reed, Dr. Finlay, and the many yellow fever volunteers possess these traits. Why did I choose the many yellow fever volunteers?
They were brave to get mosquitoes.
Who did I tell you? One specific. I wanted to use Kissinger. Yep, I wanted to use Kissinger. Could I also use Dr. Lazier? Why could I use Dr. Lazier? And?
You kept studying.
He gave up what? He gave the ultimate sacrifice. He gave up his life. That's pretty brave and bold, right? Okay. So then I have my first one that I talked about is Dr. Reed. That's my first example. That's my first piece of text evidence. Where's that going to be? What paragraph? It's going to be paragraph 1 because I mentioned him first. And we want this to do what? Flow. My second one was Dr. Finlay. So where am I going to put Dr. Finlay? First paragraph, second, or third? Second. My last one was the many yellow fever volunteers. Where's that going to go? Third. Okay. So, introduction, body, conclusion. Can we write our conclusion yet? Why can we not write our conclusion yet? We don't even know what we're writing about yet. Is our introduction, our body, is that even together? We have a skeleton, but do we have a whole body? No. So I want you to get out this now, and I want you to work on right now, and I'm going to walk around and see. I want you to work on your paragraphs 1, 2, and 3. In your group, I want you to bounce ideas off of each other. If Nate sits there and says, I'm not sure about this sentence, Henley, do you think blah, 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 blah? Yeah? When I'm citing my text evidence, what am I going to do on my outline?
Write it down.
Write what? Write what down? What do you put in parentheses after your text evidence? The title, then the what? Then the chapter, then the paragraph number. So on my outline, I'm going to put my title, my chapter, and my paragraph number. I gave you this as a tool. Does a tool mean you have to use this? Do you have to incorporate any of this text evidence? Nope. Does it give you kind of an idea, a place to start? Okay. So I'm going to set my timer now for about 10 minutes. I'm going to let you work independently, and then we're going to come back and we're going to have a discussion. 10 minutes.